Hey guys, Comic Boom here to review the first issue of Naomi. So this is another issue of the Wonder Comics line, written by Brian Michael Bendis, with incredible, beautiful art, impressive art by Jamal Campbell. He's the artist, and he also did the cover. Beautiful cover. I mean, Naomi is a beautiful young girl, or I guess teenager, but this is just a visual feast. This is a really beautifully drawn comic book. I got to give full credit to Jamal Campbell. Sorry, Jamal Campbell. David F. Walker is one of the writers with Brian Michael Bendis. So Bendis and David F. Walker are the writers here, which surprises me a little bit. David F. Walker, the last time I was familiar with him, he wrote the Cyborg series, and it wasn't bad, but I wasn't a huge fan of the Cyborg series, but it had some potential there. In any event, what's interesting here is that this first issue, in terms of dialogue, certainly seems like Brian Bendis. If there's one fault that this opening issue had, is it's very decompressed. Not a lot happens. But it does end on, actually the very last few pages is where the story actually picks up. And this is a very, very simple synopsis. It's not going to take long for me to do this. Basically, it's Naomi lives in a small town. She's got a whole slew of friends. We don't really learn any of their names except for like one or two of their names. A lot of talking heads, but a lot of babble, a lot of teenage babble that doesn't move the narrative forward. It's like Bendis trying his damnedest to pretend that he knows how young people talk, and even if he does know how young people talk, which I would submit that he does not, but even if he did, why would we want to hear them babble in a comic book when the price tag is $3.99? You got to make better choices. So now David F. Walker is also the writer here. So if David F. Walker and Bendis are writing this, then it seems to me that the dialogue is all Bendis. Maybe Bendis let Walker do the dialogue, because this was a really bad job on the dialogue here. Once again, it didn't work, and good Lord, I don't know what it is. Bendis really dropped the ball in the latest issue of Superman #7. Horrible dialogue there. Everyone sounds like New Yorkers, and it's okay to have, and that's not a put down against New Yorkers, but when everyone sounds like the same New Yorker, that's a problem, right? In any event, the story here, it's Naomi works at a cafeteria. Superman and Mongol fight. They end up in a fight that lasts 17 seconds in the town. She misses the fight. She becomes obsessed with Superman, and she is accused of having something called a Superman complex by her psychiatrist, her therapist. So this is a teenager that apparently has been in lifelong therapy. What for? We don't know. Why does she need to see a therapist? Don't know. Why does, apparently the therapist thinks she's just another kid fixated on Superman because she's adopted. We find out that Naomi was adopted many years ago. And the cliffhanger is that Naomi was adopted apparently 17 years ago, on the same day where the last superhuman event occurred, where the last time superheroes fought in the small town, which nobody remembers except this one mechanic, happened to be on the very same day that Naomi was adopted 17 years ago. And so that's how it ends. That's the cliffhanger. So now the big mystery is, wow, okay, is Naomi somehow related to the superhuman event that happened 17 years ago? We don't know. That's the question. I am curious about that. And maybe it sounds like I'm nitpicking a little bit here, but the dialogue here was a really significant miss. And artistically, this was really well done. I mean, look at some of these panels here. 12-panel grids with, really beautifully done, with different characters, all talking about the event of Superman fighting Mongol going through the town. Very, very well done. And the art, again, the art's really good here. There's a couple places, though, where the art was kind of a little bit of a miss, but overall it's really exceptional. This scene here probably could have been done a little differently, although I have to say that it's showing the sunset as the kids are talking to each other around a campfire, or pardon me, in the forest anyway. it is actually, it's pretty well done too. A lot of word balloons, very wordy. Again, the dialogue here seems all over the place. It's the use of, again, they got to really tighten up the dialogue. There's a lot of pages here that are just really unnecessary, and they really got to tighten up the narrative. Really tighten up the narrative. I'm gonna be right blunt here. If this is gonna be something where it's gonna be $3.99 an issue, which is likely gonna remain, obviously, because they're $3.99 now, and have been for a while. It's at least we get the digital code on this one. But if this is going to be 12, 15, 20, 36 issues before we get any sort of revelation, it's going to be a real turn off. And if it's, so right now I got to say the jury is very much still out on this. But again, this is beautiful enough. Artistically, I got to give this a 9 out of 10. Story-wise, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. And that's being generous. That's being generous because I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. But David F. Walker, man, you need to exert your influence a little bit more on Bendis. You got to insist on you doing the dialogue, because I'm sure that you can't be worse than Bendis. Seriously. David, step up to the plate. Do the dialogue. Just tell Bendis, ask Bendis what he wants. Let you put the words in the mouths of the characters. Please. Please. This will read a lot better. In terms of Wonder Comics, this is supposed to be about bringing the hope and the rebirth, and about fun. And so far, this is a 17-year-old teenager talking to a therapist. This is pretty boring stuff so far. So far, we got a mystery building here, but boy, oh boy, if this is going to consist of issues with some chick talking to a psychiatrist, and then talking to a steroid-ridden mechanic, this is going to go nowhere fast. So. Jury's still out on this, but again, 6 out of 10 on the story, 9 out of 10 on the art. Guys, tell me what you think of Naomi. Follow me on Twitter at Metropolis40. Hit the subscribe button. Until next time, Comic Boom, out.